responsibility is far greater. And you must be better than me. Understand? Stay calm, boy! Say it.
I will be better.
The power of this weapon, any weapon, comes from here. But only when tempered by this. By the discipline, the self-control of the one who wields it. That is where the true strength of a warrior lies. We must be better. You must never forget that. Fate only binds you if you let it. Do what is necessary. Not because it is written. Make our own destiny.
Hello friends, last in November, I had the opportunity to play God of War 2018 for the first time on my channel. However, even before that, I fully acquainted myself with God of War entire Greek saga. I managed to summarize the entire story in a single video, which you can access by clicking the I button above. Fortunately, as soon as I completed the God of War 2018 gameplay walkthrough on my channel, God of War Ragnarok was released the very next day and I started playing it right away. Since the events of both the games are still fresh in my mind, today we will not only review God of War Ragnarok, but we will also compare it with God of War 2018. Now, while I will try my best to steer clear of spoilers, I will still be providing an outline of the main plot for both the games without revealing any details that could potentially spoil the story. So let's begin. God of War 3, released in 2010, sees Kratos acknowledging that his relentless quest for revenge has caused catastrophic damage to the world. In a selfless act, he decides to end his own life by plunging the blade of Olympus into his chest, releasing the power of hope for the greater good of humanity. After 8 years, Santa Monica Studio brings back Kratos in God of War 2018, a game loosely based on Norse mythology. Kratos finds a new family and his wife Faye has just passed away, leaving him to raise their son Atreus alone. God of War 2018 story revolves around the relationship between Kratos and Atreus, who initially appear distant but set aside their differences to fulfill Faye's last wish of scattering her ashes on the highest mountain peak in all realms.
Gather your things. We are leaving.
Every step of their journey presents a new obstacle that forces them to alter their course, leading to a repetitive cycle of surmounting challenges and revisiting familiar places. The father-son duo faces internal and external battles along the way, ultimately strengthening their bond. By the end of it, the game manages to effectively deliver the intended narrative. Also, the final revelation in the end thus creates some hype for its next installment.
A question for another day. Let us go home.
What's next?
Home.
God of War Ragnarok's story takes place 3 years after the events of the previous game, where Kratos and Atreus' actions have resulted in the onset of Fimbulwinter, a precursor to the catastrophic Ragnarok event. The game revolves around their efforts to prevent it, with Atreus uncovering new aspects of his identity and abilities, adding new layers to the storyline.
That had to be a dream.
Your emotions. They transformed you.
I didn't know I could do that.
The game explores the concept of destiny versus choice, questioning whether the actions of Kratos and Atreus can alter their predetermined destiny or if they are fated to fulfill the prophecy of Ragnarok.
You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
To uncover the answer, one must experience the game firsthand.
Fate only binds you if you let it. Do what is necessary, not because it is written.
God of War Ragnarok had a lot of potential, but unfortunately falls short in delivering an impactful story. It started strong, but ultimately felt rushed in the end due to the amount of material crammed into it. The game story lacked depth and desperately required a third installment to better explore the characters, their actions, and the story in depth.
So there are several reasons. I think one of the most important reasons is the first game took 5 years. The second game, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm just going to throw out that it's going to take a close to similar time, right, to do this. And then if you think, wow, a third one in that same, we're talking like a span of close to 15 years of a single story.
Right.
And I feel like that's just too stretched out. Like, I feel like we're asking too much to say the actual completion of that story taking that long just feels too long.
The introduction of insignificant plots, the lack of answers to critical questions,
Somebody just called the serpent.
and missed opportunities to create epic moments left me underwhelmed. The developers played it safe, failing to take some bold decisions and not delivering on the hype. I can't elaborate further without spoiling the story. Those who have played the game may understand the references I am making here. Please comment what you think about it. I would love to hear your thoughts on the same. Let's now talk about graphics. Although God of War 2018 was launched 4 years before Ragnarok, its graphics still remain impressive. However, Ragnarok offers numerous graphical enhancements in all aspects, including improvements to physics,
Well done.
models, textures, and lighting, surpassing its predecessor in every aspect. Ragnarok's visual enhancements may not be immediately noticeable, but they are plentiful and enhance the game's overall visual experience significantly. After going through God of War entire Greek saga, when I first started playing God of War 2018, I immediately noticed the impressive execution of Kratos' new character model, which exhibits a significant transformation and maturity. Similarly, I found Thor's character model to be noteworthy in the Ragnarok installment, diverging from popular expectations cultivated by the Marvel movies. However, in contrast, Odin's character model failed to impress me as it did not do justice to his renowned reputation.
You know who I am?
When it comes to music and sound design, God of War Ragnarok's soundtrack is exceptional with an epic score that complements the gameplay and enhances the overall experience. The sound effects are also well done, making every encounter and action feel satisfying.
In moments of crisis, panic does nothing. Harness it. Let it serve you.
Even the music score in God of War 2018 was outstanding and gave me goosebumps the first time I heard it. In Ragnarok, while some parts feature the same score, it also introduces its own phenomenal theme music.
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
Give me a tear. Killed God of War in these lands. Who's dead?
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there, we've gotta find him.
Come in. All yarns be the happened to him.
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people.
In my opinion, the score in both these games is by far the most exceptional score I've ever encountered in a video game. Let's now discuss the gameplay aspect of the game. The gameplay in God of War Ragnarok builds upon the solid foundation established by its predecessor, featuring an open world design that allows for extensive exploration and discovery. The game's environment is incredibly detailed with stunning landscapes and breathtaking views that create an immersive experience for players. The map in Ragnarok is considerably larger than that of God of War 2018, allowing players to travel to all 9 realms. However, in the previous game, only 6 realms were accessible to the players, and despite that, they were required to repeatedly visit the same locations as the plot developed. It is either a brilliant move from the developer's perspective in order to save time and resources, or it's just lazy. Whatever the case, I find it to be repetitive and boring. In addition, the method of traveling between realms has been improved in Ragnarok. In the previous game, players had to travel to the world tree to access different realms, which could become tedious.
It is from this room, and this room alone, that you will be able to cross between realms.
In Ragnarok, players can travel to different realms from any mystic gateway, making it more convenient and better designed. After playing God of War Ragnarok for a few hours, you will quickly notice the wide range of enemies you have encountered, and trust me, there are many more to come till you finish the game. It is clear that the developers made a noticeable improvement in this aspect compared to the previous installment, where the variety of enemies was quite limited. God of War 2018 introduces players to Kratos' new weapon, the Leviathan Axe, which proves to be a remarkable and delightful addition to the game.
Wow.
Go.
Oh, what happened here?
The addition of the shield further enhances the gaming experience, allowing for slow motion blocking and parrying of attacks, creating an immersive and rewarding gameplay experience. Moreover, Kratos' signature weapon, the Blade of Chaos, which becomes available in the second half of the game, also proves to be an excellent combat option, adding another layer of excitement and variety to the game. God of War Ragnarok elevates the already impressive combat system of its 2018 predecessor by introducing a host of new moves and abilities. The game also seamlessly integrates puzzles and platforming elements, which offer a greater level of challenge and depth. The puzzles are expertly crafted and require players to utilize both combat and puzzle solving skills to progress. The Blade of Chaos, which were previously mostly limited to combat, are now used for solving puzzles and navigating platforming sections. The combination of the Leviathan Axe and Blade of Chaos enables developers to create more intricate and complex puzzle designs. Additionally, a third weapon is unlocked midway through the game, adding yet another layer of gameplay dynamics and further enhancing the overall experience. God of War Ragnarok has a diverse range of companions, which is an improvement from God of War 2018. In the previous game, Kratos and Atreus travel together in the entire game except for a short solo section of Kratos. In Ragnarok, players meet several characters that accompany them throughout the adventure. Players can control an additional character, which adds to the game's dynamic and engaging nature. In addition to this, Atreus plays a more active role in combat in Ragnarok, which is a valuable addition to the gameplay experience. So let's conclude now. The 2018 God of War game has a solid gameplay and a well executed narrative that sets the stage for the next installment. However, it does have some drawbacks, such as a limited map, repeated locations, and a single point to travel to or realms. Despite these shortcomings, I will still give it a 9 out of 10 rating. As for God of War Ragnarok, it is a must-play for fans of the series and those seeking an immersive action-adventure game with breathtaking visuals. Although the story may not meet all expectations, the game's overall experience is still great. With that said, I will give it a rating of 8.5 out of 10. Alright, that was my quick review on both God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to my channel. This is me Abhinita signing off.